Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly general overview with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. As you can probably tell, if you've been watching me for a while, something is different. This is more very much in line, actually, with the videos that I started with. This is going back to that very first year of Reydiant Reality, where it was very intimate, very small, and just kind of, me and the camera, so to speak. So no board this week. I am currently having all kinds of tech issues, and it's not even a Mercury retrograde. So with that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, as always, you can do so on the website addressed below. And also, if you haven't seen it yet, the winter solstice alignment activation session it's doing really well, and I really can't wait to get to it because it's going to be absolutely amazing. I did send out an email to let people know what it's going to be, and I will also talk about it in a separate video as well. So with that said, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So, I'm dropping them all over the place. Let's have a look at what the week ahead has in store for all of us. So, the destiny card for the week ahead for the overall is... Boom, the judgment card, right? So the judgment card always talks about a blast from the past. It always talks about going over old ground, but so that we can finally transcend the lesson that we are experiencing. Now, the judgment card also brings things up from the past. It's like settling old scores. It's people coming back from our past so that we can talk with them, so that we can lay to rest any unfinished business that we have. Now, it's interesting because, when we talk about ghosts and spirits and things like that, right? We talk about them having unfinished business. Well, unfinished business can be anything. It can be in your relationships. It could be with old work colleagues. It could be energetic. It could be emotional. So the ghosts of everything past this week may very well be rising up. And if you're finding you're having that experience already, I mean, as I'm filming this, I know I've already had a couple of blasts from the past, and I'm like, really, do we have to tread over this again? But yes, we absolutely do. And the fact that we've got the judgment card means that we can rise above it. It means that we can go beyond, right? It means that we can have that experience where it's like, okay, you know what, I see the experience of what I'm going through at this moment in time. I understand why that has happened. OJC Astrology, shout out to her, absolutely love her. And the reason being is one of the things that she suggested for this week was to write down the things that you may have been carrying and then burn it. I did that, right? And I think it's going to be a really great practice to continue over the course of the week ahead. Anything that you're holding on to, any old baggage, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, go through that stuff, right? The thing about the judgment card is it represents that feeling, because it's Pluto, right? So it's deep transformation, it's deep change, it's where we pull everything up from the depths of who we are, and we basically put that into a sieve, right? And we sift it out so that we can let go of all of the dross, all of the crap. What better time than Virgo season to go through a process like that, right? Of really filtering out now all of the stuff, all of the baggage, all of the old crap that we just don't need, to transmute it. Now is the time to use that as fuel. So the judgment card is basically saying we are closing out a massive cycle here, right? From here right and through until the end of the year, actually, we're going to be going through this process of really throwing things out. So just like we do a spring clean, maybe this is going to be like your autumn clean, right? This is where you go through the process, or you'll start the process this week of really looking at the things that are holding you back in some way, shape or form, and deciding, you know what, I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to transcend it. I'm ready to move beyond it. So let's have a look at the direction, right? That's the destiny card. Let's have a look at the direction. The direction for the week ahead. What does this relate to? It may relate to The Temperance card, right? So look at this. We've got Pluto here in the Judgment card. We've got the Temperance card, which represents the sign of Sagittarius. But Temperance itself is about spiritual alchemy, right? It's about the process of going through, I talked about this whole thing of putting our life through a sieve, right? Well, Temperance takes that. For those of you that get my weekly email, you would have seen this on Monday. I would have gone into depth about this. But it's almost like you're taking and culminating all the experiences that you've had up until now and saying to yourself, right, what is it that I can take from the past and how is it that I can transmute that into something else? You want to see all of the heavy experiences, all of the ones that you didn't like, all of the ones that were uncomfortable, all of the ones that you thought, you know what, this isn't what I want to be experiencing anymore. This is not what I want to be carrying forward with me. I want to let this go. Well, Temperance is about alchemy, right? So alchemy is the process of turning base metals into gold. What is it in your life this week that you are ready to transcend? And the thing about this card as well, I absolutely love Temperance. So look at this. You see she's got the fire triangle there over the heart space. Now that took the fire triangle, so the symbol itself represents the process of fire. Fire is about purification. It's about taking something and burning away all of the impurities. The fact that she's got it over the heart, right? So to go into this in the depth of the Kabbalah, this actually talks about the sphere of Tifereth, and that basically talks about your heart space. It talks about the center of who you are. The sixth Sephiroth in the Kabbalah is representative of the heart, right? But it's also the depth of who you are. It's like the sun. It's the sphere of the sun in Kabbalah. When you're talking about the fire triangle being over your heart space, this is about purification of the heart. It's about purification of who you are at your core. It's about being able to burn away the impurities, the anger, the guilt, the fear, the shame, all of the things that you're feeling that may well be holding you back. And I'm talking about me here as well, right? This is stuff that is coming up for me at the moment. And look at this, right? So bam, you've got the fire triangle there in the third eye, right? So this is about burning away the negative visualizations that you're putting out there in your life. Then you've got the fire triangle here, right, over the heart space, burning out those negative emotions that are no longer serving, that are actually holding you back. And then to take it even further, you see she's got the sun disc over the third eye, right? So I talked about the heart space being here, right, and the sun sphere of the Kabbalah. She's bringing that up into the third eye so that she sees the beauty in everything. That's the process of alchemy. When you turn lead into gold, you say, you know what, yes, this may be lead. Yes, it may be of a lower vibration, but it has the potential to be something so much greater. So you bring that fire triangle up into the third eye so that you can now start to see and perceive, because your third eye is about your intuition, but it's also about seeing your journey, about where you're going, right? Being able to perceive that, even if you're not necessarily there yet. It's about understanding that hope that you have in order to reach it. Absolutely beautiful, right? Really, really beautiful cards so far. So the direction, I hear you say, because I've gone on a massive tangent there, right? So the direction is basically going through the process of clearing out your internal closet, right? Then clearing out the mind, clearing out the heart space, clearing out the emotions, clearing out the spiritual self, right? To clean the energetic and spiritual bodies. That is the process this week that you go through. That is where you're going to find the most worthy time of your of your life, right? The most worthy pursuit of your life at the moment is going through that internal cleansing, right? It's going to lead you on to bigger and brighter things, and it's making space for all of the wonderful things to come in. Because if you're visualizing and you're not pure in that space, right, what you're going to visualize is more of what you don't want. That is not for now, right? This is a powerful manifesting time because we've got so much earth energy going on right now. And the fact that we've got so much earth energy going on right now is a time where we really need to think about and focus on the things that we do want. We need to focus on the things that we actually want to bring in, rather than focusing on the stuff that we don't want to manifest, because it's going to have a counterintuitive effect. So let's have a look-see at the insight card, right? What's going on behind the scenes for us? I'm not going to talk about wider world events this week because everybody's awash and abuzz with them, and I'm just not in that space. I feel like it's more internal. I want to pay more attention to what's going on within us rather than outside, right? Because if you get all of the inside stuff sorted and clear and free, everything else becomes easier, no matter what's happening in the world. So the insight card for the week ahead is the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, you better bring me that shmoney. I love it, right? I absolutely love it. So the Ten of Pentacles talks about material manifestation. It talks about the physical accomplishment and achievement of the things that we want, right? This here, so starting with the deeper self, going through that process of cleansing, of transformation, of really moving through that energy, right? Bringing it into temperance to really clear out, to blend together all of the things that you need, all of the different attributes through that process of cleansing the internal self is what's going to lead you to your Ten of Pentacles. And your Ten of Pentacles is money, it's finances, it's the home that you want, right? It's about the physical dwelling. It's also about the physical body. Now, to take this even deeper, as I mentioned earlier, the Kabbalah, right, with this card, well, the Ten of Pentacles represents the sphere of Malkuth. And that is it's the physical world, right? The 10th sphere on the Kabbalah tree right at the bottom is called Malkuth. And Malkuth actually means kingdom, right? It's the kingdom of the earth. This is about being completely in harmony, going through the process of all of that spiritual stuff to bring it down into alignment, into the physical world, right? It's the process of how things go from being out there as concepts, as visualizations, as energy thought forms, and you bring them into alignment so that they can make it into actuality. If you stay focused on what you want, if you clear yourself out of all of the internal clutter, this week you could really manifest something big. Is it going to happen overnight? No, not at all. The Ten of Pentacles is not an overnight card. What it is assured success, assured accomplishment, assured achievement in the real physical, tangible world. But it requires that you do the work. Pluto is not an easy taskmaster. In fact, I mean, they call Saturn the hard taskmaster, but think about Pluto. It moves even slower than that, right? And Pluto doesn't, Saturn will just say, right, whatever is dying and decaying, we'll get rid of, right? We'll crystallize that energy coming in. Whereas Pluto says, I'm going right to the depth of it. Right, this is why Scorpio is so deep and penetrating, because Pluto, as the Judgment card, is all of that stuff, the stuff that is right there in the depths, because the Judgment card also represents the ancestors, things that have passed over into the intangible, right? So all of this stuff that is intangible, the thoughts, the visualizations, all of that stuff is now being purified. All of your etheric bodies, right? So your mental body, your spiritual body, your astral body, all of that stuff is going through the process of alchemy now, so that it can be turned into gold. When you're coming from that place of temperance, of complete balance, look at her, she doesn't even need to open her eyes, because she has that complete trust in self. She knows the elements that I need are already here. It's my job to blend them together in the right proportions. When I can do that, when I am clear of heart and pure of heart, when I can see clearly through the gaze of the sun, which is about beauty, it's about seeing the beauty in even the difficult stuff. Even in a lump of lead, it has the potential to become gold, providing I give it what it needs and apply the right formula, right? When you do that, that's when you're looking at gold, right? Turning it into the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, it's a chest of gold and bloody pentacles, for crying out loud. What a powerful week. What a very, very powerful week. So let's have a look, see. The word for the week this week is signs, right? So you want to look for the signs. You want to listen for the signs. However it is that your intuition speaks to you. For some people, they hear it. For some people, they see it. For some people, it's a synchronicity or an experience that happens outside of them. Whatever it is that your intuition uses, pay attention. The signs are there for you this week. The signs, the nudges, the gut instinct, all of those little moments where the hair stands up on the back of your neck, or for me, it's the goosebumps, right? It's either the gut or the goosebumps. Whenever I get one of those, I know something is happening, right? I know that I'm seeing something, I'm intuiting something. So the word this week is signs. Look for, listen out for the signs. They are there. All you have to do is be open to receiving and perceiving them, right? And that's all the stuff that I talked about with the temperance card. I wish you all an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Go be amazing. Keep me posted. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.